Hi guys, and Jordan, we're back again. My voice is sounding weird because I don't know why. I don't have a reason. I don't have an excuse. I don't have an excuse. But my voice sounds kind of weird. But here I am again, back with another paint. Just playing on MS Paint, drawing again. Some more Dungeons and Dragons stuff. I need to get my list out because I forgot what I had on my list. No, we're not going back to this van. We're not going back to this van. So this time I'm going to be drawing another D&D character. Probably zoom out so I can actually see the whole page. But I am drawing another D&D character. This time, if you guys seen like the Elder Scrolls video I did, the character that I said I was going to try and be like, this is that character, Acta. So yeah, I'm just going to be goofing off playing with MS Paint again and talking. I forgot. I should have probably made a list of things to talk about too. I'm doing excellent so far. Lists. I need them. Darn it, now I'm forgetting what actor kind of like the outfit looks like and all that. Oh well. I will freestyle it. Which I kind of already am. You made a face, fan. What? You're making a face again. Stop making faces. Yeah. So, anyways, I don't really know what to do. I'm drawing, I don't know what to talk about. Do you remember if Dudu makes chainmail? If we can reference that now? Yeah, it's okay?
I thought you said
No, not that. I just don't know how to reference.
I don't know his website.
I don't know his website. Can you search it up for me, please?
Like a sidekick here.
I know normally
The hay.
normally I'm the sidekick.
With the actual hay. Exactly. You're my sidekick. Let's get this straight.
Wow, I'm a sidekick now.
Yes. You mean now?
Now? Apparently, I've always been a sidekick. Scratch that.
Van's a key character in people's lives.
Van's a key character.
Yeah. In people's lives. People like me, for example.
Van's a key character in your life.
Yes.
Okay. But basically, I guess I'll describe the character. If you guys play D&D before, you guys know what alignments are, and she is chaotic neutral, which is pretty fun to play. Yeah, dun dun dun. Everyone was like not upset, but everyone's like, "Oh, come on!" Like when I set up my alignment at the table that we're playing at, just because it was the one where chainmail guy. I don't even want to reference his name because I feel like I shouldn't. I'll look at his blog after I'm done my picture.
Yeah, because if you say his first name, people are going to immediately know who you're talking
No, people aren't going to immediately know who I'm talking. No.
Everybody knows.
I'm losing my topic. But I picked a chaotic neutral character, and everyone at the table was like, "Oh, come on!" And then another person who was also chaotic neutral was like, "Oh, we're gonna get along," and I was like, "Are you sure about that?" And then no, we did not get along in the end. We actually, well, we didn't argue. My character just joked enough times that it scared his character, and he sometimes got upset. Like I didn't argue. I don't think anyone really argued in those situations.
That argued
What? But like, it was great because I got to the one time prank the entire group when I was first new to the group. Okay, because the story was we went out on an adventure to just walk around because we're just wanted to walk through the forest and see new things. So we're walking through the forest and the one night I decided to use some spells to trick some characters in our group, or to scare the party. So as soon as we lit a fire, I put out the fire with thaumaturgy. And prestidigitation were the two spells I had. I'm pretty sure thaumaturgy is the one that snuffs out candles, or any small campfire. But it was still pretty entertaining because the whole group was, because I told the DM beforehand what I wanted to do, so it wasn't me telling him. Well, that's what I wanted to do, so no one knew it was me, except for the people who were guessing it was me. They were like, okay, no, it's definitely the new person in the group, and I was like, why are you guys blaming me? And they made like an insight check, and 2 of them succeeded. And out of the 6 people, including me, there was like 2 people succeeded, so there's 3 people left. And so I'm not including myself as making the check. But the other 3 people believed me. And it was great, because they're like, why don't you believe her? Why don't you believe her? Because, like just because she's new, like, I mean, come on. And then, like, later on in the night, I made ominous whisper sounds, I think. And it freaked out everyone in the group. And then the final thing I did, that was great, because we kept, like, also in thaumaturgy, you can warm or cool a spot, like a cube, like a small cube, but, and I chilled the spot underneath where someone was sitting, and they freaked out. Like, they jumped up and freaked out and were like, what the heck are you doing? And I'm like, I'm not doing anything. And the rest of the group was like, okay, obviously there's something undead under the ground here. And we're like, it's the cold monster. So that's what was the running joke for a while there was a cold monster that was following our group. Because every single night, or every other night, one of the 2 things, there was this monster that was, there was like this cold spot appearing under people's butts where they're sitting. And the one guy in our group, the ranger, was like, you know what, I've had it with this. And he started like oh wait, no, was it the ranger or the fighter who started digging a hole? Pardon? It was the fighter? Okay. The fighter just like was like, okay, I've had enough of this, and he took out his shield or his shovel. I forget which one he had. I think it was a shovel. But he took that out and started digging a hole where the cold spot was. So I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna go with it. So I kept making the spot colder, and like I just kept putting the cold spot underneath where he was digging. And it was pretty hilarious because he dug like good 6 feet into the ground. And we're like, are you digging a grave? And he's like, yes, and someone's going in it, because he was getting so frustrated. And so I told the dungeon master that I wasn't even hiding it anymore. I was just laughing my head off, and most of the group was irritated by me. Some people thought it was kind of funny, but they're still irritated with me. But I thought it was hilarious. It was great. But yeah, so that's my D&D story about Acta. Because so basically, she's chaotic neutral, but she doesn't harm other people, but she doesn't not help the group. She just is annoying and pranks people. Because another thing she does is we were playing a game in town because there was a festival going on. And the one game I entered, or Acta entered, was to knock over the, I think they were like stacked stones or something. It wasn't something fancy. But yeah, so we had to knock them over. And so I was playing the game, and I had to make sleight of hand checks because I wanted to see if I could knock over the stones with a puff of wind. So I I got 3 shots, and I knocked them all down on the final shot, and I was like, yes. So Acta won a conch shell for winning the game, and everyone was kind of confused, but she won the game still. So now it's a conch shell, and it's in my character's hands, and so we didn't really know what to do with it, but she wanted to keep it, so we kept it, and for the every single time we were in town where we got the conch shell from, she would walk around town blowing the conch shell, making as much noise as she could, just walking around town. Do you mind if you check my video quickly just to make sure there's sound? Because I feel like I'm going to be talking and there's going to be no sound. Because it says the sound should be being captured. I'm just double checking because mine's muted. I'm paranoid like that. But yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed it. The conch shell was pretty hilarious, I thought. But yeah, Acta's just a silly character. She just did whatever she felt like without putting the group in harm's way. So, yeah, it was pretty entertaining to see what she would do next. But yeah. Jeez, there's a fruit fly. I'm running out of things to talk about already. I'm forgetting what Acta's looks like. My volume's working? Yay. Sorry. I'm gonna not talk while you check my volume. Okay, also if you guys know a little bit about Dungeons & Dragons, there's a thing called a tiefling, and if you guys don't play Dungeons & Dragons, a tiefling is like a half human, half demon sort of thing, so not many people like tieflings because in the pardon? Yeah, no, in the world, people like in the NPC world don't really like tieflings because, well, to be fair, they have horns and a tail, so they don't really look right. Looks kind of intimidating sometimes, I guess. But I really like being tieflings because one tiefling I was pretty entertaining. Her name was Nadius, and it was great playing her. I really enjoyed it because, well, she was like happy all the time, but like not suspicious happy. She was just like always like, hey, how's it going? My name's Nadius, and just like that to every single person she would meet. And she'd get excited with everything she found that was new, but she grew up in the forest. So the one situation we were in, we went to a town, and we were by like the ocean, I think. But we're going near an ocean, and she's never been to the ocean before. So she was all excited and wanted to go see the ocean. She's like, "Oh my gosh, this is so much water here!" And then we went to an inn, which I forget the exact name of it, but like it had lobster in the name of it. Ironically, they didn't sell any lobster there, but but it was great because she was all excited. She wanted to. What was that? Oh, hey, someone's following. Thank you. I'm still getting used to sounds. I don't know sounds very well because I have a notification thing to tell me when I get a sound. Or, anyways, I get sounds alerts, and I get confused. Anyways, going back to topic, Nadius is always excited, and when we found out that there was such thing as a lobster, she was thrilled. Like, she wanted to go find one of these things and see a lobster. So, she went down to the ocean and jumped in the water and started swimming through the water to find a lobster. And when she actually was swimming for a while, and then she found like a circular shell in the sand underneath the water, and it didn't look quite the colors that she remembered being described to her, but she was excited anyways. So she grabbed it and it pinched her finger, and it kind of hurt, but she brought it up to the surface and showed the rest of the group, and it was a crab, not a lobster. But she was still excited. She was like, put it on the ground and just watched it walk back into the ocean, and she followed it back to the ocean, and then went and looked for more lobsters until someone told her that lobsters are actually farther out in the ocean. But she still really liked looking for lobsters. My hamster's breaking into rooms. Breaking and entering! But yeah, I just find like stuff like that to be funny when your character does something unexpected, or when you have new players. New players are the best, because Van, when he was running a campaign, when I was new to Dungeons and Dragons, we had like the best solutions, he said, because honestly, when we were just like, I really don't know what to do, and we'd overplan like everything just to make sure we didn't like die or something crazy. And so we went to this goblin camp the one time and broke into a room with a goblin boss, 4 guards, a hobgoblin leader, and 2 hobgoblin guards. So that's a lot of guys for like level, I think, 2. And so we were kind of terrified, but we had to fight them because we're kind of in the room with them at that point. So we fought them, and it was great because we actually took out the one guy, the captain, I guess, the captain hobgoblin. We took him out super fast, and like it kind of sucked for the DM because I guess the DM didn't really get to do much with him, is because I'm a paladin in that campaign, and so I divine smited him for a lot of damage. And he just like went down, and then he was about to stand back up, and then the barbarian came and just whacked him over the head and killed him. But the situation where we had to like problem solve is the one guy in our group kept going down and having to be revived by our cleric because he was standing in the doorway, and the goblin boss, the goblin leader, not the hobgoblin one, the goblin, was in the room shooting, like standing back and shooting from a ranged. So we needed to do something about it. So my paladin I asked quickly, was like, is the table in the room like able to move? And he's like, yep. And because none of them were bolted together. So I was like, okay, can I grab the table and flip it on top of the goblin leader? And he's like, okay, you can try. And so I grabbed the table and flipped it, succeeded on my strength check, and I flipped the table over on top of him so he was prone, but he was also pinned, he was also had cover, but he was pinned under a table. And keep in mind, while this was also happening, he threw out a boar out of like a little bag. It's hard to explain the bag, I'll explain in a second, but he threw a boar out of a bag, and it started running around the room, trashing the room, and the boar couldn't hit anything for the life of it, but the boar came to charge at my character, who is standing on top of the table, and we ended up crushing the goblin boss underneath the table, because the boar ran him over, and it was pretty funny, actually. It was like, wow, I didn't expect him to get crushed by a table, for one. too. I didn't expect him to get the boar to charge over top of him. But yeah, it was pretty entertaining all in all. So, yeah, I really enjoy D&D. You guys can't tell. Okay, now going back to the thing that he whipped out of the bag. The bag we actually retrieved after we killed him. It was like a bag of tricks, I think. Van, is it a bag of tricks? Yeah? Okay. Rust bag of tricks. It's in the, I think, Dungeon Master's book. But basically, you roll a dice, and it summons an animal to assist you. And it's friendly to you, and those who are friendly to you are also friendly. It is also friendly too, so it's friendly to you and your companions. And then it's also, but it's hostile towards anything that's hostile towards you. You give it commands to fight. So my character has that on her. And we also, the one time, summoned a goat to fight. But it wasn't, we chose the goat. We were trying to get a higher thing. But I rolled pretty low, and so I got a goat. And I didn't know what to do with it, so I just brought it with us anyways, because it disappears after a while, but might as well have the goat do something. So we're walking down this hallway, and then we entered a room with a bunch of, bad guys. They're, evil monks, I think. And it was pretty entertaining, because, while the two monks were trying to beat up our sorcerer in the group, and he was running away, and then the goat ran up to the two guys that were fighting him and actually headbutted the one guy, and he killed the goat. But it was MLG goat, and we're all excited, but the goat didn't get the kill. And then on the other hand, I got to throw another thing out of the rust bag of tricks to see if I could summon something else. And I summoned a giant boar, which a giant boar is a pretty big creature, you would think, and it was. And so we, summoned it, and it charged, and it, killed two of the guys. Immediately. It was terrifying but awesome. It just rammed two of the monks and killed them in not one hit, but pretty close to it, because somebody else already shot it a few times. But yeah, so I love it when new players are playing, because there's such interesting things to do or try, because when I was a new player, it was always the dumbest things. We asked the DM to do the dumbest things. Another time with Van's campaign, we asked if we could, there was a bear in front of us, so we asked if we could stand on each other's shoulders to scare off the bear. So he's okay, you can try. And so we stood up on each other's shoulders to make ourselves look bigger and scarier to it. And did I get another follower? Hey, thank you. I'm glad you're here to join the stream. But we climbed on top of each other's shoulders, and then it didn't work. The bear still came and attacked us, but it was pretty entertaining, because trying to do that was just ridiculous but fun. But it was still pretty funny. So yeah. Do you guys have any Dungeons & Dragons stories? I would love to hear it, but I'm just rambling on about what I've been doing, and it would be cool if you guys had any Dungeons & Dragons stories. Trying to think of some more that I could tell. Well, last night actually I was playing another campaign we're playing, I don't know if you guys, anyone, knows the module, and I'm not going to do many spoilers because, like, we're really new to the module also. We, like, just started, like, this is our second campaign day. So, we're playing Out of the Abyss. And I don't want any spoilers if anyone decides to try and do that, but if you guys know the module, you start out in prison by drow. And my character is a drow monk. So it was pretty entertaining because when we were trying to break out, we had this elaborate plan to break out. And I'm not going to tell the plan so I don't ruin it for anybody else, but we broke out of the prison and were running down the one path, and we ended up encountering like another drow, and my character just ran up to him and punched him and killed him like right away. It was great because my character is also blind. So my character, Van, is also the dungeon master in that campaign. Whoops. But he helped me come up with rules for how my blind drow monk works. So she has like basically blind sense, but we adjusted it to be like, I'm taking my hands off the keyboard and doing hand motions again, but like we adjusted it so it was like it gonna increase in a few levels. So I can hear up to a certain distance if we're just sitting there, but if we're in combat, I can also hear up to a certain distance. But it's just like little things that I can do, like blindness doesn't affect me, but I cannot run off by myself unless I want to go fall down into a pit, is the problem. So like there's advantages and disadvantages. Like another thing is if I was deafened, I would be basically like useless. I wouldn't have been able to use any of my senses because, well, I'm deafened. So also going back to my character here, Acta, she has a dragon a pseudo dragon familiar. And I was bugging the dungeon master so much when I named my pseudo dragon because he was like, "You haven't named your pseudo dragon yet," and I'm like, "No, I haven't because I don't have a name for him." He's like, "Well, why don't you name him?" And I'm like, and I got put on the spot. So the name I came up with my pseudo dragon was Fluffy, the pseudo dragon, and he was so frustrated with me because he was like, "It's not Fluffy, it's a scaly lizard. Like, it is a small, scaly lizard, and you naming it Fluffy." And I was like, "Yeah, because you put me on the spot." And so, like, we kept joking the entire time that he was gonna try and kill my pseudo dragon because he didn't like the name. And he's like, "I'm not gonna kill him." And then we kind of joked every now and again. He's like, "Yet. We're not gonna kill him yet." But yeah, I really liked the game where I played as Acta because, well, we don't play it anymore, but it was still fun while we played. Yeah, I find like just finding new groups is because that was the first time we're actually going to try and find a group that we didn't know all the people in it already. So we met new people that we actually play with still. We play with like them at our home campaigns, and like in my home campaign, in Van's home campaign, we play with them. So yeah, it's pretty fun. I really enjoy Dungeons and Dragons. I'm looking at my page here and my list of things to draw. Can probably erase Acta now. But yeah, that's my character Acta. I don't remember her last name, but Acta. That's her name. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And delete. I missed the legs. Delete the legs too, because I do not need random legs. And yeah. So I'm gonna need to make a new list. Because I'm going through all of them way too quickly. Because like a few days ago I did another stream where I drew my character from Van's campaign, Thea the Paladin, and I drew armor and I drew weapons. The armor and weapons were okay. I'm better at drawing characters than armor and weapons, but you know. So now I'm going to draw some characters out of my other group that I'm in, my group with Van. Van's the DM, but I'm going to draw my Paladin again, just because, for those who haven't seen her, can see her, but then also, like, and then her friend, Rodwin the Cleric. And so I'm just going to draw that right now. But yeah, so, like, basically, some background on, like, Thea and Rodwin is Rodwin was actually a noble in this town of Ceranlian. I do it with an accent because it's fun to do it with an accent. But Ceranlian is the town that Thea and Rodwin grew up in. And Rodwin was more of a noble. She was fancier. She got raised in a nicer lifestyle and just had the money for things. And Thea, on the other hand, didn't grow up in a nice lifestyle, but elves, as long as you contribute to the community, you pretty much get a house. Maybe not the nicest house, but like by elf standards, it's not the nicest house, but like by other people's standards, it's a pretty dang nice house. So when like they just grew up and they knew each other as friends. But Thea, as she got older, she had a lot of siblings with her. Thea's the oldest. She grew up with her mother. Her mother had she didn't have a father. Like Thea doesn't remember her father, who her father is, and basically she had a brother who was younger, and then she had a younger sister. Who her younger sister is the youngest of the group. But yeah, so Thea like just didn't grow up in a very wealthy lifestyle, but Thea's okay with that. So as I play her character, she isn't always she'll take money, if someone gives it to her, but she doesn't always like have to take it, or she doesn't always want to take it if they don't have lots of money because she knows what that situation's been like. So, and she's like a paladin bard, which is excellent to play because it's just really entertaining to be a paladin bard because it's just both charisma based, so you can just do a lot of different stuff. As long as you have high charisma. I don't have a very high charisma as Thea. I really need to get that higher, but I haven't been able to lately. But yeah. So Thea and Rodwin are both high elves. Thea is actually a blue high elf because I picked her to be like that because I was reading through the player's handbook, and there's actually a type of high elf that is like has a light blue skin tone. So yeah, that's what Thea is a light blue elf. But I really like her as a character because it's just interesting to play different characters in different campaigns. I have a lot of fun doing it. Thea's also really tall. We joke about that all the time. Is that like the one character in our group is a halfling? And yes, we know that you can move through a friendly creature space already, but we just joke about the halfling just walking underneath like Thea and just like do, just walking on by, just not even having to try much. Just like so the one time I think he used me as a shield is because he ducked underneath Thea and then ducked back up, like stabbed the guy, like ducked under, stabbed the guy, then ducked away back behind Thea so Thea could take the hits instead of him because he was like a sorcerer. So he isn't like the tankiest person that could be in the group, but I can handle that because Thea has a crazy AC. It's because she has a 22 armor class with the shield up, and she can cast Shield of Faith. But but she has the armor class. I'm gonna reference my player's handbook here just real quickly. Wait, no, I don't need to, because she has full plate, and then she has a ring of +1 AC, and then she has the fighting style, which is the let me think for a second, the defense fighting style. So she is very tanky. I built her that way so she could actually try to soak up damage more. But and then I also have the shield mastery for her. So because she uses a shield all the time, but so then her shield mastery helps her against spell effects. Like, so when a dragon does a breath attack, she can use her reaction if she succeeds on the saving throw to take no damage instead of half. That's with like any spell effect. If it targets only her, she can add her shield's AC to her dex check, if it is a dex check. This is for dodging out of the way of spells, not for like mental spells. So like nothing like psychic damage, I don't think, because it's not a shot. That's a saving throw on her part, but it's not dex based. Excuse me. But yeah, it's really fun to play as Thea. A few weeks ago now, we were fighting a young dragon because we are level 6, but we were fighting him at level 5. And Thea had the spell command lined up as one of the things she could do for the day. And so Van makes it very intense sometimes when we're doing fights. So, because it says on its turn, it has to do the action if it fails its saving throw. So, I commanded it to grovel, which is basically you fall down, or not fall down, you lay down, and you just lay there, and don't fight back for one turn. So, I told the dragon to grovel, and he's like, okay, so whose turn is it next? And I was like, did it work? And he was like, I'm not. And he's like, you'll find out. And so, on its turn, when it came up to its turn, it flew out of the air and landed down, and just laid there on the ground. And everyone was like, oh, it worked! And they were all excited, and it was just crazy. But it's fun. Like, it's fun because Van tends to be easygoing about that stuff and just lets us try things. And he generally, if it's crazy and unique, he'll set the DC. I don't know how he does it, but I feel like he's a little bit more, okay, it's crazy, but it might work, and it sounds fun. So he always gives us a shot at it. But yeah, I really enjoy Dungeons & Dragons. I keep saying that. I'm trying to think of other things to talk about, like more things to talk about. Whoops, I'm clicking so many buttons. Trying to think of more things to talk about. I was talking about the guy who makes chainmail earlier. I forgot that after my last picture, I was going to actually go check out his website, which I will do in 1 second. I'm just finishing up this picture. I won't color it in, just if you guys want to remind me, you can. But he basically makes chainmail. He has a blog. He has a link to his chainmail thing in his blog. He gave me permission to reference it or talk about it on my channel because I didn't know if he was nervous about it or not. So, but he makes really cool chainmail stuff. Like, he makes jewelry. He makes dice bags. He makes I think a few other stuff. I'm not too sure everything because it's been a while since I've looked at the list. But the game store we're playing at, he brought in a chainmail tie, like a necktie, and he put it up like for sale in the store, and I was like, are you serious? How long did that take you to make? I don't remember what he said, how long it took him to make, but like, it was just impressive because he works really hard on that stuff, and he has like D20 rings that are made out of chainmail and a D20, like an actual dice. And then he has like necklaces. I think he has keychains. I'm just guessing now. But yeah, he has quite a few stuff. But yeah, and he has a blog. His blog is where he writes like stuff that he thinks about or he's interested in. He does stuff like writes about the group that we used to be in. Um, he writes like the what happened that day. In it, like not the same day, but like he tells us like he does like a quick summary of what occurred in the campaign. So he writes like the story out. Trying to think, he was talking about a game that he posted to his blog. Like he didn't post the game to his blog, but he posted like talk about his game. And I didn't really read it, but it sounds really interesting from what other people have been telling me who have read it. But yeah, I would say for sure if you guys are interested and when I go check out the channel or his blog, if you guys want to check out his chainmail, I would recommend you guys do because his chainmail link is on his blog somewhere. I think he does it after every post or before every post, one of the two. I'll have to check and I'll find it for you guys. But yeah, it's really cool. Cause well, yeah, he's also a cool DM. But I also really like Van as a DM because, well, he does really good DMing. Like we all have different personalities for dungeon mastering. Is because some dungeon masters are excellent at voices. Some dungeon masters are excellent at story. Some dungeon masters are just excellent at making the feel for the campaign seem real enough that you guys are into the game and you guys are like totally stuck in character. There's like different ways of having like a good DM, and a lot of people, well, I find for me as a DM, I get worried because I worry that I'm not a good DM, but Van's told me that I'm a fine DM and that there's no definition of a good DM. Like the good DM version is when you're not cheating your players and you're not actually doing things like not following the rules and all that stuff. If you know what I mean. But yeah, I really enjoy playing the games. I play in a lot of campaigns actually. Like quite a few. I'm trying to think of how many because there is my campaign that we do once a month. There is Van's campaign, which he runs 2 of them, so sometimes it's twice a week, sometimes it's once a week on his campaign. And then our other friend runs another campaign, so that is 4 different campaigns we're in, 3 total if you're counting like the dungeon masters in the campaigns. But yeah, we play Dungeons and Dragons a lot. But it's a good game. It gives you thoughts, like you get interested and you get story ideas and you get invested in the game and you just come up with solutions and problem solving and just different skills that you need for real life stuff. So like it works for a lot of stuff. I don't think I'm going to draw Thea in her armor. I think I'm just going to draw her in her nice outfit because Rodwin and I went shopping, or Rodwin and Thea went shopping for some nicer clothes because Thea doesn't always wear nicer clothes. She wears like usually armor and stuff like that. But yeah. Well, whoops. I keep clicking the wrong space. Okay. Yeah. I've just been talking about stories and stuff like that. I'm going to check the blog in one quick second. Just finishing coloring in Thea and Rodwin. And I'm almost done. Whoops, wrong color. That was totally the wrong color. She does not have maroon hair. She has light gray hair. There. Okay, now I'm going to go check out the blog. That's the wrong thing. Okay. So this is the blog. He posted like on July 9th. So just a few days ago. That's about the game that he was talking about. But yeah, well, let me see if I can find his chainmail. There's his YouTube channel here, and then another person's blog, and there's here. Okay, at the bottom of his blog, so he does it he links it in every single blog he does, which is handy. It says to see the chainmail my wife and I make, click here. So I'm gonna click it just to look at it. See, this is the stuff he makes. He makes like bracelets, earrings, charms, rings, necklaces, belts. Apparently, I did not know he made belts. I guess our miscellaneous section. Oh, this is the miscellaneous section. Okay, so I'm just clicking on stuff to look at. So there's a belt here. There is the tie that I was talking about. And there is like what looks to be like a toque or a beanie. So yeah, he does a lot of different stuff. The jewelry I love because it just looks beautiful. Whoops. And yeah, he does a lot of cool jewelry. The chainmail that he did for like, these look like just little knickknack stuff. Like dice bags and stuff. But I don't know if he does the dice things on his he has armor. I did not know that. I don't think he sells the dice things on his website, but there's some nice jewelry here. Like if you look at it, just go through his website, there's some really nice stuff that he makes. Like out of chainmail, like, and it's legitimately chainmail. So yeah. But like, if you guys want to, just go check out his blog. Like, if you guys didn't see it or you want to see it again, message me in the comments because I didn't know if I went too fast through it for you guys to really see it. But yeah, I really need to think of what else to do or draw. Delete. I don't know what else to draw. I'm just trying to think here for a second, actually. I cannot think of what to draw. I think I'm running out of ideas. Yeah, I think I'm going to end the stream here if you guys are good with that. Whoops, I keep opening the wrong thing. If you guys are good with that. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys again later. If you guys want to see the chainmail again, I do have a YouTube channel if you'd like to comment there, maybe, if I don't see it on my Twitch channel. If you want to comment on my YouTube channel, it's the exact same name, Ninjanderman38. It's the exact same icon or logo or whatever you want to call it for the, the little circle thing and that posts next to videos and stuff. But if you guys want to ask, you can message me there for like the chainmail link or whatever, and I can just drop a link in the description for it. I'll drop a link in the description on my YouTube channel. I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing on Twitch yet. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and talk to you guys later. Bye. Whoop.